Hi there, this is Hope Lewis with Keller Williams Realty, and I just kind of want to go over a few things. Thank you for contacting me and letting me know that you're interested in buying a home. Kind of wanted to go through over here my buyer's presentation. I'm a single agent, and I really enjoy doing all parts of a transaction with my buyers. I will be personally showing you homes. I will be writing the offer myself. I will be going through the whole process from start to finish. The first part, when you're trying to find a home, obviously, is look for a good real estate agent and getting pre-approved for a loan if you're not paying cash. And also part of the buyer consultation, which I kind of want you to start thinking about now, is analyze your needs. And then once we're going to get through that a little bit later here, but once we get through analyzing your needs, then I can set you up on a drip for my multiple listing services to get you homes in the area that you want, the size that you want, yard, all your specific criterias. Then when you see a house that you want to go take a look at, then we will make an appointment and go look at the homes. Usually I like to see like 4 or 5 homes during a tour in a block. I have shown, I think it was 13 homes in one day, and oh my gosh, that was a lot of homes. It gets kind of a little confusing when you look at so many homes in one day. So I do like to limit it to about 5 or 6. In our market now, because we're in such a robust seller's market, it's more like 2 or 3. So anyway, then when you find the home that you want, we will sit down and look at the comparable homes that have sold around it to decide what price you want to come in at. Some sellers are pricing their home a little bit below market to generate lots of interest in their home and maybe over list price offers. Then we will sit down and write an offer and submit it to the seller and the listing agent as soon as possible. I am not that pushy, and I'm not going to say, sleep on it for a few days, think about it, only because homes are moving pretty fast. Definitely go home, think about it, talk to your husband, your wife, all the decision makers. But then we go and submit the offer. And your offer is accepted, and we're celebrating. So then say it's accepted and they counter offer something like we wrote in one of the negotiable items is repairs. And, then we just go back and forth and negotiate basically what kind of repairs are going to be done. And then we go into what's called the contingency period. And in an offer like this of single family residence in Reno Sparks area, one of the first contingencies is going to be the inspection contingency. So we'll set up the inspections, and that's usually 10 to 20 days. And then negotiate some repairs if needed, resolve any issues, and then that will be a contingency that will be resolved and completed. The other huge contingency requires another inspection, which is the appraisal inspection. And that's completely separate from the inspection contingency. So then with the appraisal contingency, that usually lasts a little bit longer because, sometimes it takes 3 weeks to get an appraisal completed. Then it's got to go back to the lender for processing and underwriting to make sure everything's good. And the appraisal did his job. He gets double checked a couple of times too. So then after the appraisal contingency, then there's a homeowner contingency, and that usually the seller has to order the documents for the HOA if there is a homeowner association involved with this, with your home that you're offering on. And the seller has 5 days to get that ordered in your name. So the documents will be generated in your name that you're going to be the buyer. And they usually run about 10 days. So we have to wait for them to get back and then back to you. And in Nevada, in Reno, Nevada, typically a buyer has 5 days to back out if there's something on the HOA rules and regulations that he doesn't like, that you have to paint your fence red or use their colors. Or, you know, you can't have chickens, or, you know, there's other little rules and regulations. You can't park your RV out front. So there's, you know, you get a chance to actually look at those rules and regulations and see if you want to move forward with the purchase. And then the other one that the other contingency that is completed during this process is kind of behind the scenes, and that's a title search. And the title company will run kind of like a background check on the property and to make sure there's no mechanic liens, tax liens, or anything attached to that property that will not give it clear title. So the seller has to give you clear title when you purchase it. And then next you'll have to acquire homeowners insurance, and your lender will help you with that. I can help you with some referrals as well. I usually say if you have a really good car insurance, that if you add homeowners insurance, you're going to get a package discount deal if you go with your current insurance provider. Then the next step, getting closer to closing, is obtaining funds for closing. So your down payment, your closing cost funds, and then if you're getting a loan, the lender funds will all get funded and wired to title, which is the third party that will be facilitating the transaction for you. Then all parties will go in and make an appointment with the title company to sign their documents, and they'll go in and sign their documents, get all the money into title, and then the documents usually are dated for a certain date. Whatever is on the contract, usually on the first page, will close on or before a certain date. And then once all the funds are there, everybody's signed their documents. It usually takes a day or two. There can be same-day funding and closings, but title companies don't like to do that. It's really, really difficult for them to facilitate and process all of those documents and send them back to the lender to get it released for recording. And that's, you know, everything, whenever all the checks are checked off, that's when the title can release for recording. When all the funds are there, everybody's signed and underwriting as approved, and, you know, it's just check and double check. And then we used to have to wait till after 6 to actually record because of Washoe County, but now everything's online and digital. Thank you, technology. So once the whole transaction is released to record on the county website, it usually records in a couple hours. So usually an afternoon closing, and then once the home closes and is recorded in your name and you are actually the owner of that home, that is when you'll get your keys and start moving into your home. So I skipped one little step before closing and signing. Usually right before you go sign your loan documents or your closing documents, you will do a final walkthrough just to make sure, you know, nothing's happened, no pipe burst or a vandalism, a break-in, or, you know, a tree falling on the roof. One of the most common things is a table or a couch that's gone through the wall, you know, from moving. Can be some damage when you move. So you just want to make sure through your final walkthrough that nothing like that has happened. And then we're off to buying your new home. And that usually takes about 30 to 45 days if getting a loan on your property and not purchasing cash. Cash could probably do in like 2 weeks if you're really fast. So I hope you enjoyed this.